Welcome to the Hope
and Dope Show. I'm John Boy.
And I'm Hot Donna. Because I'm on fire for Jesus.
Hey, we got a great show planned for you today. I'm super excited. But before we get started, I want to remind you not to forget to hit that little subscribe button and the bell so you get all of our notifications. All of our notifications each time we upload new content. Thanks for interrupting my monologue.
And don't forget to comment down below because we'd love to hear from you guys.
Comment.
We love to hear from you guys.
We love.
Yes.
Comment. You interrupted my line, so I'm going to interrupt your line. Welcome back.
Yeah, thank you.
I missed you.
You did not. You've been picking on me since I got back.
Huh?
Yeah, you missed picking on me.
That's so much fun, though.
Yeah, I know it is.
And I've missed that.
Yeah, you did.
Not necessarily you,
just picking on me.
Just the pick. It's like that kind of sounds disgusting. Like I'm picking all your scabs and you're popping your pimples.
Nobody even thought of that except for you. Oh, brother.
But I don't know where to go.
I'm going to tell you where to go.
Oh boy. That's going to be a little interesting. Yeah, guys, it's been a while since you've been here. We've been letting the folks know about, Stan the man, your husband.
My honey.
Going through a little bit of a battle.
Yes.
Maybe share with the folks kind of what's going on.
Yeah.
Or not. Just sit there. Yep.
Trying to think of what camera to go to right then. Am I together with you on two, or am I going to one now?
Just go to one.
Okay. Yeah. So Stanley's had some challenges, and he's gone through several operations in the last couple months, and we have one biopsy left to go. But we are believing God is doing the miraculous in him, and we're standing on that by faith, that by his stripes, Stanley's healed.
Yeah, because, he needs to get better because I've got some big guns that I need to go shoot out at the farm.
Oh, I suppose you're going to show us those big guns now.
Here's one. Here's two.
It's more like a water pistol to me.
You know what my grandpa used to tell me?
What?
When I'd flex for him, he goes, "Whoa, that looks like a kneecap on a hummingbird." Yeah.
Do you say it like that?
Just like it. But he had a bigger belly.
Oh, okay. Well, just give it time.
The bellies come from, oh, that hurt. I think I'm bruised from last week when I wore my Jesus shirt, like Jesus calling, and you got the accept and deny button.
Oh, did somebody push your buttons?
Yeah, Paul.
Oh, Paul was pushing your buttons?
He was hitting my belly.
I can't wait to see that episode.
What, did you not watch it? It was last week.
No.
Yes.
I totally missed it.
Anyways, but we're excited. Man, we got some amazing stuff coming up.
I know.
And today's show, also special events. I mean, we've got the Officer Priebe Strong 1062 run that's coming up in Republic, which is just right outside of Springfield here.
And what a testimony and an amazing story of what God has done in their lives since the tragedy, and how God is turning it all around for something good.
Right. So we are super excited. We got both of them on the show. Andy Buchanan, who's the event organizer for Officer Priebe Strong 1062 run coming up in Republic. Also, we've got Officer Priebe here in the studio. We're going to talk to him about just kind of what he's been experiencing, what has happened, and what he's experiencing right now. So,
and his family, because this is something for his entire family that they're going through.
Right.
But God. And so God gets in there in the midst of the tragedy, and he takes the tragedy and he turns it into triumph. And so this family is an amazing example of how they triumph over the hard times.
Exactly. And we just get to be a small piece of the event that's coming up this weekend.
Yeah.
Tell us about that event.
Why do you got to be so enforceful? Jeez, you've been gone for a year and you're like,
Yeah, come on, tell the folks.
Well, we brought in and we were volunteering to bring in the production part, and we reached out to some of our Christian friends, and we're going to bring in Rhett Walker to do a concert part. It's going to be
amazing.
Amazing. I like Rhett.
Yeah.
We were going to have him at our festival this year earlier in the summer,
right,
and
exactly.
then COVID came and no one came. Does that make sense? Yeah. No
Sure.
one.
In your world, it does.
So yeah, we're super excited, and I'm excited.
There's going to be all kinds of stuff for all family, kids, grown-ups. There's everything.
And the governor's going to be there.
That's right.
Governor
is going to be in the house. That's
Governor.
Right. Hello, Governor. Yeah, we're so blessed.
What?
We're so blessed.
I didn't sneeze.
We are so blessed to be a part of this event.
Yes.
And it's what a community does.
It is.
They come together.
It's gonna be
and
awesome.
He's a hero. Officer Priebe is a hero. And people are coming around him to just thank him for all of his service all the years.
Yep. And there's going to be food trucks. I mean, well, before we get too far in it, let's just talk to Annie about it.
Let's do it. She's going to tell us everything about it.
Check this out.
Hey, this is Keaton Gear with Heartland Racing Company and the Priebe Strong event.
And I'm Annie Buchanan with RCAT, the race director.
The event's going to be on October 24th at 7 a.m. at the Republic Community Center. We're going to have a family fun run, 5K, 10K, and half marathon.
There's going to be craft vendors, there's going to be food trucks. The best part about it, Rhett Walker is going to be performing that day in a live concert for us. All the proceeds go to Officer Priebe and his family and Special Olympics.
You can check out all of the race information down below at the website. We'll see you
there.
Wow, this is going to be such an amazing event. Are you actually going to run?
Yes, I'm running. Running.
Really?
Yes, away from you. Very quickly, too, I might add.
I'm going to walk.
Okay.
You know what? I'm going to ask Officer Priebe if I can sit on his lap when he's being pushed.
Oh, brother.
Be like a roller coaster going down the hills.
No, you're not going to do that.
Oh.
No.
We shall see.
Okay.
Anyways, we're super excited to invite a new guest to our show today. The director of this event.
Yeah.
The organizer, the all the above. She's got many hats.
Yes.
And please help us welcome Annie Buchanan. How are you? Did I say your last name right?
You did. You
awesome,
did.
Awesome. Welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
Welcome, Annie.
Thank you. Thank you.
So your involvement here, you've been pretty close to Officer Priebe and the family. Kind of tell us the history of how you became involved in the family.
Yeah, so our sons actually played baseball together in 6th grade, 7th grade, and so that's how I really got to know them because they went to separate elementary schools. But the way our district is, how it works is the schools feed into one middle school. So the boys became friends then, and we got to know them, and I taught in the middle school, so I got to know Connor a little more as well.
Okay.
And Connor's like my favorite first son, and then it's my actual son, but you know, so, no, I'm kidding, Drew, but anyway.
Mom is only kidding.
But got to know the family through that, and we went to many baseball tournaments, and then 4th of July, we always have a get-together with friends and family, and Mark would always come out and help Tad light all the fireworks, and so just over the years, we've really got to know each other pretty well through our kids. So
awesome,
yeah.
awesome. Go ahead. Were you getting ready to say something?
No.
Oh, were you just whispering in my ear?
No, I was like, yes, stay on your side. There's a line here.
We
Stay
have
on
a
your side.
we have a line here, folks, on
Social
our
distancing.
chair.
Yeah, this
that-
is
exactly
yeah,
social
yes.
distance.
It's like 1 foot, not 6.
Stay over in your line.
Yes, let's put your foot up there. 1 foot. Hey, you're kind of limber.
I didn't know my foot could do that. Wow, this interview just went totally south.
What
so,
else is new?
Welcome to the Open
thank
Dome
you,
Show.
thank you. I think
my
it's fun to be
goodness.
here. I don't know.
Anyway, so so you came to us. You came to us. You got this vision, or tell us how this event even kind of birthed in your mind.
Yeah, so the day of the accident, and Heather has cancer, so they've walked
Heather's
through that.
Mark's wife.
Heather's Mark's wife, excuse me. And so it's kind of one of those things. My son had not really been there for Connor through that, and when we got the phone call that morning that something bad had happened to Mark, I had just gotten Drew back from football, and I said, Drew, something's not right. Something's happened, and it's really bad. You know, with Mark, what do you want me to do? Because he was supposed to go work for his dad, and he just stopped. And he is not our emotional kid. He's very logistic, logic, all that stuff. And he just looked at me and said, I have to go see Connor. I wasn't there for him with his mom, and I got to be there now.
Wow.
So I said, okay. So I took him over there, and all the friends were over there, and obviously Mark was at the hospital already, and Heather had left. So through that, I shuttled some people to the hospital for him, and then Connor was going to come over to our house that night and spend the night, and we were just having like some taco bars, some friends over. Their youth pastor came over and played basketball with them all night. Wow. And I was just, as I watched how this all unfolded, and just as we got updates throughout the day and the evening, I just became really angry, that something like this could happen, and how hateful people can be, and how sick people can be mentally, and that in all avenues our system is broken in that. And so I just felt like I had to do something. The next morning, football comes early, so they're there by 6:45 in the morning, got all the boys up, and I said, I'll be back to pick you up. I'll go walk at Wilson's Creek. And so I was stomping up hills, and I was tired because I'd been up with them pretty much, the night before, and just the emotional energy is just drained. And I'm just like, man, I'm just frustrated. And I was like, I need to be running and do my exercise. And as I'm stomping up some of the hills there, I'm just looking at my legs and going, I can do this though. Maybe this is the year I do my marathon, because I've always wanted to do a marathon. Okay. And so then from that, I was like, okay, well, maybe other people want to run with me. We could do this in memory of Mark. And I had called Mark and Heather and talked to them about it. And they're like, okay. And, they're very preoccupied. So I was like, well, I'll see. And called Feet Fleet that evening, and I just said, hey, I don't know how this works. Do you guys put on racing events? I'd like to do this in honor of Mark. And he's like, oh yeah, and he gave me a couple resources, and I reached out to Heartland Racing. And the crazy thing is, Heartland Racing that day had just heard on, Keaton had just heard on 88.3 the sticky notes that Mark used to leave for his family.
Right.
And so he heard about that, and he's like, man, I wish I could get a hold of someone that would let me do a race out there. I don't know anyone in Republic. And he goes, and then you called. He goes, and so from there it's just blossomed into what it is. Never in my wildest dreams would I expect it to be what it is today.
Well, it's kind of amazing because I was here in the office working, and we get a call from our partners from the Win, Stephanie and Kyle, and I guess you guys were all in a conference room or something, and called me on the speakerphone and said, we need your help. And I'm like, who needs my help? What could I do? Yeah. And they said, well, we want to do a concert. And we can't think of a better ministry to help put this thing on, and we're so honored that you guys thought of us, and we're excited that we're able to bring in Rhett Walker for this concert, because that's his favorite artist. Yeah. And we jumped on it. Mm-hmm. We jumped on it. I mean, there was no hesitation. Yeah. So thank you and our partners, the Win, Stephanie and Kyle there, for thinking of us, to allowing us to come and help see this thing through for you. Oh, yeah. I mean, we're pumped.
Well, we couldn't do it without partnerships. Like, it's Keaton and I that God gave the vision, and then from there, it's been the community of people together that we've made this event. So it's just been amazing to watch it unfold.
And God never gives you a vision without making provision for the vision. Yeah. And so that's what he already knew. All of this was going to happen ahead of time. Yeah. So he was just lining things up behind the scenes and connecting people to come together to honor. Just like you were saying with Officer Mark this way.
I just keep walking through doors that shouldn't be open. I'm like, okay, I'll call this person. Okay, I'll walk through here, whatever.
You've got courage and chutzpah, and that's why God chose you to do this for such a time as this, Annie.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So tell the folks where they can go. Can they still sign up to run and be a part of this?
Yes, so we are right now currently at 600 runners. We have enough spots for 700. We are capping out at 700, so that's as many medals as we ordered. Maybe we should have ordered more, but
700 is a good number.
700 is good, but you can go to heartlandracingco.com, and all the information's there, all the different races we have. If you want to volunteer, we're still taking donations. All of that is on that webpage. So,
Okay, so we'll be sure and put that in our video and description down below. So run us through the morning. I mean, I got an email from you that I'm like, oh, what did I get ourselves into? And it said, if you're getting this email, this means you too. And then followed up with being there like at 5 in the morning or 3 in the morning or something.
Wait,
and
what?
I'm like,
You didn't tell me that part.
I'm like, yeah, I didn't get that email.
I see the sin. You got it. You got it ready. Yeah. So that next week's going to be a little crazy from Wednesday till about Saturday till after cleanup. But lots of different things happening. But that Saturday morning, we're super excited about it. Our racing team, the setup, they're going to have to be there at 3 a.m.
Wow.
And they're not probably getting out from Friday till 10. So they're amazing. Heartland Racing is amazing through this whole thing. And then we have volunteers coming about 6 o'clock. Our vendors will be set up by 6 o'clock. Our food truck's set up. Our rock climbing, our inflatables, all those pieces will all be set up.
Ooh, inflatables.
Yeah.
A rock climbing
I
wall.
like inflatables.
Yeah, you do. That's for another show.
Stage will be all ready to go. And then all of our really cool things, our celebration, opening ceremonies will kick off about 6:55. So we have the motorcade coming. The SWAT team's going to be pushing Mark the 13.1 miles.
amazing.
Yeah.
There's going to be so many cops there. I'm going to be nervous.
Well, you'll
And
be
you should
safe.
be.
You'll be safe. So,
Yeah.
I originally said I was going to push Mark, but then once I saw the course that Keaton laid out for us, I thought, I'm going to have someone a little stronger. So, SWAT team it is. So,
That is so
And
awesome.
what could
Yeah.
be better than the SWAT team to
Right?
come alongside
Yeah.
him and to
Yeah.
honor him in that way?
Absolutely.
I think it's awesome.
absolutely. So at noon, we're shutting down and we're going home and sleeping.
Yeah,
That's the
everybody's
plan.
taking a nap.
Well, not me, because that just a few hours later, family and I, we're going to Monster Truck.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I like big trucks.
Yeah, you do.
Although the one I got for my birthday that's behind you is a little small.
Yeah, where is that thing?
Is that a truck or a Mini Cooper?
It's a.
There you go. Show everybody.
I'm not sure yet. See, there you go.
Yeah.
See everybody. See.
We all chipped in, and that was what we got.
Aw, that is awesome.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we're super excited to be a part of this event with you, and I can't wait. I mean, I don't get why people want to sign up to run. Right? I just can't get over it.
You just want to come there for the coffee and donuts.
Yeah.
Well, yes, and there's going to be food vendors.
Yes, and one of the,
yeah,
a
let's talk
couple of
about
the
that.
food vendors, the taco truck, I forgot the name of it, I'm so sorry. They're actually giving all their proceeds back to Mark's family
Wow.
and Special Olympics. A lot of the vendors, some of the vendors that are coming, one of them actually, she is a nurse, PT nurse at Mercy, and she's making these cool little bracelets. She's been making Priebe Strong bracelets by hand. I think she has 300 of them that she's going to sell at the event. She goes, I just knew I needed to do something. I was at the hospital when he's there. And she goes, I knew I had to give back somehow. She goes, can I make these bracelets and just sell them? I said, absolutely. So everybody has wanted to help some way. So whether it's a cup of water or you're coming out to cheer him on the side of the road or you're physically running, I mean, it definitely is community.
Wow.
So
I'm gonna have to get me one of those bracelets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You just said something right there that was key to this whole situation and this whole event, and right down to the crisis, is that you said even if you're just there to give a cup of water,
Yeah.
and that's what Jesus said, if you give a cup of water in my name,
yeah, yeah.
you know.
And
So
that's what
people are doing.
Yeah, and that's what I told Keaton too. I said, Keaton, this thing has become way bigger than a benefit race. It's a place where people can come and get hope, and we're just the vessels to do that. But
Exactly.
God's going to use this for a way bigger purpose than just a race, because people need hope right now.
That's
you know,
it.
the world is kind of crazy and chaotic and sad, and it's a moment, a day that we can eat donuts and drink hot chocolate and run, some of us, and just celebrate together and just kind of forget the craziness of the world and remember what it's all about, and that's Jesus.
Amen.
An event
Amen.
that's bringing hope, and then she brings us in to bring the dope.
To bring you in for the dope.
Because I like to party.
FBI, open up!
Party. So you're going to be in the race yourself. You're running
Yeah.
it yourself too.
Yes,
So
yes.
not only are you organizing it
Yeah.
with your partner at Heartland
Yeah.
and making sure all the pieces, but you're
Right.
running it too.
Yeah, I have not really ran a lot. So usually by now you should have been running for 12 weeks, and I decided to start yesterday. So
Oh wow.
I'm a runner at heart anyway. I've ran since 7th grade, and I've run 3 halves. maybe not as challenging as this one, but I know mentally where I've got to be strong enough. And I keep coming back to the reason I did this was that if Mark can go through what he's doing, then I can go run 13.1 miles in honor of him. And, you know, if I have to put 1062 as badge number and Priebe strong here, so as I'm running, I'm like, oh yeah, that's why I'm doing this. Then that's what I'm going to do, because that's the heart behind the whole thing. So,
amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, tell the folks again one more time how they can be a part of this, even if not to run, but just come and be a part of the concert aspect or cheering along the side of the roads.
Yeah, so you can come to the Republic Rec Center on Saturday, October 24th. Festivities kick off at 6:55. You're definitely not going to want to miss it, because there's some really cool things that are going to happen that morning in opening ceremonies. You can stand anywhere on the race line and cheer us on, cowbell it up, please, because we're going to need that. You can cheer Mark on and the rest of us. You can go to heartlandracingco.com and you can find out more about the racing events if you choose to do that, sponsorship, volunteer. But otherwise, just come and hang out with us. Take your kids and let them rock climb, and we will be COVID minded, you know, social distancing, masking, that type of thing. Obviously, if you're sick, don't come. But you know, it's just a special time for our community to rally together, to come together and just have fun. So
I'm excited.
Yay!
We're gonna run.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make it mandatory that all staff of Light the Way run. Except for me.
Yeah.
Unless I'm going to get some donuts.
you could run to the SWAT car and get in there.
Oh.
And then jump out and make it look like you're
We
running.
need to have that
She's giving me
segment
some
for sure.
ideas.
Yeah,
That's really the
definitely.
plan.
Who knows what you'll see next week after the event.
Oh my goodness.
Governor's going to be there. The SWAT team is going to
Yep.
be there. We should call the FBI.
They're probably already on your case.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you got that.
That's awesome. Well, thank you again for
Thank you
coming
so
on
much
today's
for having
show.
me.
Thank you,
excited.
Andy, for all that you're doing.
Thank you.
Amen.
Not just for what you're doing for Officer Priebe, but for the kingdom of
Well,
God.
I am super excited. You know, this event is going to be an amazing event. It's for an amazing guy,
Yes,
Officer
and
Priebe and
family.
his family. And just, you may not know who we're talking about. We put together some clips of some news articles
Great.
that shows you really
Help
what happened
explain.
and explain what happened here. So take a look at this.
You may remember Springfield Police Officer Mark Priebe. We reported back in early June he was pinned between a white SUV and an outdoor barricade at police headquarters.
Prosecutors say Officer Priebe walked into the lot to contact Routh and motioned for him to pull over. They say instead, Routh accelerated and drove into Priebe, who struck the hood and then was dragged underneath the SUV.
There is a Mark Priebe benefit account set up at the Bank of Missouri for him. She also says they received an overwhelming amount of support from family, friends, the community, and even across the country. She says, quote, "We are so thankful for each and every person that has reached out to us. And as a family, they have mail time to read cards and open packages together." He also sent us a video just to tell us how he's doing, and here's what he said.
I just want to say thank you for all the support that we're still getting, and the love and the prayers. We appreciate every bit of it, and please keep bringing them.
2 fundraisers have started for him. You can donate to the Springfield Police Officers Association right now. Also, a GoFundMe page has been set up.
Wow, what an amazing story, Mark, and what he's been through.
Yeah, it is. Only by the grace of God.
Oh, totally. Super excited to introduce to you a good friend of ours joining us on the show. Mark, how are you, my friend?
Doing well, thank you.
You look comfortable. Are you good?
Yeah, I'm getting used to this chair. I take it with me everywhere I go, and
yeah,
it's starting to sink in, and I'm pretty comfortable now.
Awesome. Well, we're so excited. Thank you so much for being on the show today. Man, you've been through a lot the last few months.
Yeah, my family and I have endured quite a bit. Obviously, my wife, last year was diagnosed with cancer, and so we were getting through that, and things were going really well, and she's had a good progress. She's still getting some maintenance treatments, and then got through that and started kind of figuring that stuff out, and then boom, this happened with me at work. So
wow. So you served 20 years, 21 years?
May of this year was 21.
21
so
years.
I've been in law enforcement for 24 years.
Thank you for your service and serving our community.
Absolutely. I bet you can tell us some really awesome stories.
If I could remember them, yeah, that'd be really. Yeah, I could. It's been a wild ride. I can't believe it's been 21 years here in Springfield, and it's just the guys ahead of me, the old guys, the veterans, back in the day said, oh, it'll go fast, and they aren't kidding. It's flown by.
Wow. I took a ride in a police car once.
Did you?
Yeah.
In the back seat or in the front? We're gonna ride along.
We'll leave the suspiciousness,
Yeah,
out
we can
there.
only imagine.
Yeah. So, but I mean, surely you miss it a little bit.
Yes and no. I definitely miss my coworkers and the folks that I served with, and the unit that I'm in or was in when this all happened in the community services section. We get to do a lot more. I didn't work the street as much, and we actually deal with neighborhood groups, and I was dealing with crime prevention and neighborhood watch, and so you get a lot more interaction with our citizens, which is a huge plus. Kind of building those bridges between our citizens here in Springfield and the police department, and
That's awesome.
It's been a good time for me, especially in the unit. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
What's one of the best stories that you can tell us that has come out of all those years with the community, working with them, and the different opportunities you've had?
I think probably the biggest thing for me is what I've been allowed to do and get involved in our Special Olympics here locally through our law enforcement torch run. That's a nationwide and statewide group that our department's involved in, and getting to deal with the athletes and help at events and fundraising, and it's police work is obviously a lot of different things, and this is just one aspect of it where I've got to interact with folks and get our citizens involved and that kind of thing. So.
I would imagine that doing what you do with the Special Olympics like that is so gratifying. It seems like you're helping them, but then what a blessing that must be to you.
Absolutely. I think that's probably one of the things that's kept me motivated, because obviously in this day and age, especially with law enforcement, there's a lot of negative.
Right.
And Special Olympics has been a constant positive, no matter how bad things are. If it's going to an event or helping an event and interacting with our athletes from the youngest to the oldest, they're some of the most positive people you could ever run into. The sportsmanship, they want to win, but they also want their competitors to win, and it's just it's very rewarding.
It's pretty awesome because we've become introduced to you by being a part of an event, a fundraiser event for you and Special Olympics, which is this weekend. And I mean, we can't be any more excited about that. And we're bringing the music piece of one of your favorite artists, Rhett Walker. I'm super excited.
I'm very excited. Annie Buchanan has started this from the ground up, and then the racing company that's helping, and just amazing people that are doing amazing things for our family and for me, and the outpouring of support from our friends, our family, my community. I knew we lived in a great community here in Springfield and surrounding areas. We live in Republic, and but this really shows everything that's happened with me through this, and the family has really showed the support that we have throughout here, and how great Southwest Missouri and the Missourians are.
So Annie said that you are actually taking a part of the race part too, and at first I'm like, wait, what? How? Did a miracle happen and we missed it?
Right, yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what is that going to look like for you?
I'm not really sure. It may be comical, but it's there. She has worked it out where some of my coworkers and some of our other law enforcement partners are going to be kind of pushing me.
Oh, that's
and
so awesome.
So I'm working on getting my arms in shape so I don't, especially on the hill, so we can make sure that I give them some help and they're not just pushing alone.
Can I push you down the
hill?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then hop
just
on?
Hold, as long as you hold on, because if you let go, I may not be able to keep control. You don't want to crash.
Maybe I should be a part of this and push him a little bit.
And I could help push you down the hill. I volunteer for that. You know what I love about this story, Mark, is that all of the years, over 20 some years, that you gave to the community, that you were there to help, who knows, thousands of people. And I love how God just turns everything around in a circle, comes back, and now here are those people being able to help you. You don't realize what an impact you have had in those people's lives. And it may have just been one night of work for you, but you changed somebody's life and put them on a road for something good. And now this is a way that this comes back to you. Cast your bread upon the water, the word says, and it'll come back to you in that way. So I just love a full reciprocal story in that way.
Yeah.
It's got to be heartwarming to think about that.
It is, and I think that's one of the biggest motivators for me with everything going on, because you know you have I have bad days, you have good, everybody
Sure.
has good days and bad days, and we're still trying to figure things out with kind of our new norm at home. And when I'm having those bad days or those negative thoughts want to come in, you know, I kind of go back to that and just the support and the love that we have, and how I'm here. I really shouldn't be. I shouldn't be here. The way the situation happened, and I should be dead, and for whatever reason God's kept me here, and,
That's right.
and I don't know exactly what the plan is yet, but we're hopeful to be able to have more impact on other people and within our community and surrounding areas. And like I said, we just don't know what that looks like yet, but I know God will direct us in the right way, and hopefully between me and my family we'll be able to figure all that out. And
That's right.
So,
Amen.
if you feel comfortable, take us to that day when it all happened. You wake up, normal day, going into work. Just take us through that day.
Well, the week before we had some of the protests here in town and everything, and they were peaceful. We didn't have any major issues. So honestly, it was going back to work the next week. My unit was in the middle of that the week before, and dealing with those situations. And I was back to getting in the office and kind of catching up on emails. And where my office is there at headquarters, it's right behind our records section, which is the front desk. And there's just a situation arised out front. A lot of times they'll come find officers in the back, the officers that are closest. And we went outside to try to figure out what was going on, and it wasn't, just figured I was going to make contact with this person, and next thing I know, I'm being run down.
Wow.
And you just lost consciousness, don't remember anything?
No, I was very aware of everything. I never lost consciousness.
Wow.
I pretty much remember the whole everything.
Some of the news medias locally said that you were pinned between, was it a pole or a building?
Honestly, I'm not totally sure.
Okay.
I was, from what I know and remember, and
Right.
without talking to the other people that were there and saw it from that the outside, I was underneath the vehicle. I don't know. I was definitely pinned,
Right.
but I was underneath the front of the vehicle. I don't know that I was pinned against a post. I know the media has reported that, but I don't know if that's exactly accurate.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
And now you went to Colorado.
Right. and went out to
What's in
Craig
Colorado?
Craig Hospital. It's a rehabilitation center out there for spinal cord injured folks and
Okay.
traumatic brain injuries. And my wife Heather, not long after this all happened, within a day or two here at Mercy, several people reached out to her, and when they realized I had a spinal cord injury, and said, "This is where you need to go. This is the place for him to get the best treatment to really get back to where he can find his independence and heal the best." So,
Wow.
yeah.
And how long were you there?
Oh my goodness. Was it at least, I think it was about 4 months, maybe just a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
That must have been really difficult to be away from your family
It
and
was.
home.
It was very difficult. We left here on June, I think it was the 18th or 19th, of, just over a week after that happened, and Heather was with me, my wife, and she was able to stay out there, but she had to also come back home several times for treatment for her cancer and a surgery, and so yeah, it was very difficult, especially my kiddos, and luckily with technology, you can FaceTime and
Sure.
see them, but it's
Right.
not the same as having that physical interaction and the love on them and hug on them, and my son Connor came out on a weekend. Luckily, a few weeks after, I got to see him a little bit. But my daughter Chloe, I didn't see her from the day I left until the day I got back, and that's definitely the hardest part, because that's that motivation to get better, to
keep
get out,
going.
and get home. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it was really awesome because I actually watched there was you have a Prayers for Priebe Facebook page, and they live streamed your homecoming.
Yeah.
From the airport when you arrived, and I'm like, wow, the massive support, and you watching us at home, you're watching it right now, and this is just the outpouring of the support the community has when Officer Priebe came home. Tell us about that feeling the moment you got off the airplane.
Yeah, right after we arrived and got off the airplane, there was I don't know, 50, 75, 100 people, co-workers, some friends and family, obviously, and just once again that positive, that support. You know, you're not alone in this journey, because there's still things that we're figuring out and things that are coming up, and the support from them. You know, even while I was away, you know, back and forth, but the ride home. I mean, once we got into Republic. We went right by the school where my daughter goes to school, and her class was out there with signs, and a lot of the students, and then our citizens there in Republic and Springfield were just lining some of the streets there as we drove home. It was
so you kind of had your own little escort.
Yeah.
You were like the president.
Some of my good friends. I used to be in the traffic unit and I still rode motors and did motor escorts, and up until this incident, and so I had some good friends and coworkers that on our motorcycles that gave me a escort home.
That's awesome. You know what I see in this, John? This has been what a year 2020 has been, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, for the record books. And so much adversity, so many tragedies, so many crises. It just goes on and on and on. And in the midst of the tragedy that has happened with you and with your family, I see God raised a hero up. And
I like heroes.
Yes, you do.
Yeah, Superman, Batman, all of them. They're all my friends.
But they are, I know. We'll talk about that later.
Don't touch me.
But what I see in the middle of that is that we all needed a hero. You know, we have Jesus as our hero, but we needed a hero in the midst of what everybody is going through, and it helps other people to be able to change their focus into what they were going through and focus on a way to come alongside. And I feel like God chose you as the hero for this time to give people another something incentive to look at and to look forward to, and then they feel like they're a part of something that they can come and help with too. And I just feel like that is an encouragement for you to know, and for the other people, that what a blessing you are, and your wife, and what heroes you are to all of us in that way. So thank you.
Yeah, you just came from an event. A local city here, Ozark, I believe, or Nixa or something, Nixa, and you were just blessed with a new mobile advice. What's that like?
It's amazing. Obviously, being surprised, especially after I've only been home for a short time, and another coworker of mine got this event going that we were at, where I was given this. They use it for golf, but you can use it for so many different things. It gives you the ability to get upright, so
I saw that.
and be mobile outside of your wheelchair. So golfing, shooting, but outside of that too, for my health, obviously me getting upright and getting up on my legs, and it helps with bone density and just getting off certain areas that I'm sitting on every day. And I can do that with this machine as well, because it gets me upright. And so what a blessing. It's not a cheap piece of equipment, and the inventor was there, Anthony, with us, and I got to meet him and talk to him, and he presented that to us there that last Saturday, and just amazing. Like I said, just the outpouring of support, the people that were there.
Right.
We know so many, but then there's so many we don't know. The love and support, the cards, the gifts, the prayers. I mean, people sending me notes just saying, "Hey, we're praying for you. We're still praying for you." That's the motivation every day to get up and keep moving forward and doing our best. So.
Well, it's amazing. We got some of the videos here of you playing golf. Have you always been a golfer, or is this something you just decided to pick up?
My father-in-law he's an avid golfer, and my brother-in-law, and I play a little. I am not a golfer.
Yeah.
But out at Craig, what are your hobbies? Well, I don't have a lot. My time is work, and then being home with the family and doing things with the family. So I didn't play a lot of golf, but I know now that life is different. I need to find some things that I can do with my family. My son golfs as well and wants to get into golfing more, and this is giving me the opportunity to be able to do more with the family. the other thing that I was kind of focused on is biking, and
Right.
we all can ride bikes and get out and get our exercise, but also have a good time. So that's another thing that we're looking into. But
It just helps me think of finding the good in your circumstance and utilizing it.
Absolutely.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
Well, I know, I can't believe our time is almost coming to an end here, but I mean, we're super excited for this weekend in Republic. The Priebe run is going to be amazing. I'm super excited for the concert, and of course, with our relationships, we put in the call to a few of our friends. The governor is going to be coming there, and we're super excited about him being a part of it too, and a few other surprises I'm sure that are down the road. But I'm excited for the part where I get to push you down the hill. And then, we'll just see where it goes.
right.
So anything else you want to?
No, I guess I had a question of everything that's gone on in this last year. What would you say is the biggest blessing that you take away out of it?
I guess the fact that I can still be here with my family, watch my kids grow up, and still have a future with them. I mean, it's
Amen.
like I said, I shouldn't be here. And God had His hand there that day, had the right people in the right places,
Yes.
and kept me from leaving this earth a little early. So
Amen. Your story's not over. He's
Right.
not done with you yet.
If you could say something to one of our viewers that may be struggling with anything, a battle that they're dealing with, whether it's a physical battle or spiritual or mental, whatever, if you had an opportunity to say something to them that may be dealing with something, what would you tell them?
is reach out. Don't be afraid. I mean, there's somebody out there. There's always people in worse circumstances than you, and don't be afraid to reach out to someone for help or just to talk to. And remember, you're not alone. I mean, God's always with us no matter what.
Amen.
Even though you feel alone.
Yeah.
And He's always there. So.
Well,
good.
again, we want to thank you for being on the show with us today. It's going to be a great event this weekend. We can't wait, and we'll see you out there.
All right. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate
Thank you for being with us, Mark. Thank you, and God bless you and
My
your
pleasure.
family.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
If you feel like you're losing everything right now, remember that trees lose their leaves every year, and they still stand tall and wait for better days to come. There's a verse in Isaiah 61:7 that says, instead of shame, you're going to receive a double portion. Instead of disgrace, you will rejoice in your inheritance. And so you will inherit a double portion in your land, and everlasting joy will be yours. So God says in a promise right here in Isaiah that God is going to give you double for your trouble. Whatever it is that you're going through right now, God says He has a way to work it out and bring it back, so you're going to get a reward. Not one reward, but two, double for the trouble that you're going through. He says that your comeback is going to be greater than your setback, and God is going to bring you out of whatever it is that you're going through right now better than you were before. That's God's promise to hold on today. Better than you were before, and double for your trouble.
Hey, thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed the show, and I sure hope you laughed, because we laugh when we make it.
Yeah, we have a lot of laughs because...
We do, because I have the joy of the Lord inside of me.
And Jesus is the reason for our hope.
That's right. And you know what? If you want to know who Jesus is, we want to lead you in a real quick prayer. It's simple. Just repeat after me. Dear Jesus, I am so sorry that I'm a sinner. I confess to you right now. Forgive me of my sins. Make me new and make me whole. In your precious name I pray. Amen.
Amen, John. If you just prayed that prayer, we want to hear from you. We want the people to comment.
Yeah, comment below.
And to give us a testimony. We want to hear what God has done in your life.
Yeah, go to our website, hopeanddope.com, go down to the bottom, hit the connect, and we want to hear from you.
Amen. It's awesome. Dope busters. Who are you going to call? Dope
You think we're having
busters.
trouble now, people finding us on YouTube?
Who are you going to call? Dope busters.